won't survive this time!
Now this is a loaded handgun. And what we're gonna do now is kill ourselves because this is horrible.
Couldn't we just stop philatling?
Too late.
Alright, prediction time, and I'm gonna be real with all of you. This one is not going to be as detailed or long as my Ichigo Yusuke prediction video. Now, that's not due to a lack of research. I've actually been doing a lot of research on Sonic lately, learning the cosmology and scaling, and I've even been watching a lot of videos that are talking about Sonic versus Cell and all this junk, so I have been doing my research. I just don't personally care enough to put that level of effort into Metal Sonic versus Cell, because this fight just doesn't deserve it, because it's crap. And one thing I find very curious is I'm not alone in this. If you look around at all the people making videos like me, they are coming to the same conclusion. This fight sucks, it's unfair, Metal Sonic's obviously going to win. This is literally just the same as Ichigo versus Yusuke. We already know who's going to win, and the matchup is so hilariously fucked. So why bother? And I've been talking to other people on Discord, and they're saying like, yeah, I don't really care for this one. I just want to know what the next death battle is. And I don't blame them. That's kind of how I feel. I'm honestly just thinking to myself, can we just like get this over with and just find out what the next death battle is? Because I feel like this one just isn't going to go over well. And sure, there are some people that are excited about this, but there are always going to be those that are excited about any death battle, no matter what it is. I mean, there are people out there that were probably excited for Twilight Sparkle versus Raven, and that was awful. Although, amusingly enough, even My Little Pony fans hated that episode, but I digress. So, Metal Sonic versus Cell. Now, as I addressed a little bit in my rant video about the scaling and compatibility of this matchup is completely and utterly fucked. And I also have a little thing in the corner that talks about the scaling of the Sonicverse that you can read to know that I'm not bullshitting. But basically, Sonic characters range anywhere from 6th dimensional on the low end to 9th dimensional. And to put into perspective of just how strong that is, that's about as powerful as Spawn and about as powerful as a Fate character, or close to as powerful as a Fate character. That's how ridiculously busted the Sonicverse is. And I plan on addressing this when I get around to making my video about the difference between an overpowered character and a broken character. Because Metal Sonic is the dictionary definition of a broken character. When you look at all his crazy abilities, because this guy basically has any ability you can think of, and Cell just doesn't have any ability to match that, and what few hack powers he has isn't gonna really do jack shit in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, like I said, expect this to be a short one, but Metal Sonic should win this. And we already know that Devil's Artemis is animating it, so we already know what to expect. It's going to be about as good as anything made by Devil's Artemis. I have no doubt that Devil's Artemis will probably put a lot of effort into the animation, and maybe it'll be cool, but I just won't really care because I'll be watching the fight thinking in the back of my head, Cell should be dead. Now let me go over the power scaling for Cell a little bit. So I did a little bit more digging, and yes, it turns out that you can actually get Cell to the universal power scalings. I thought Cell was only solar system level. I guess there's some stuff that I missed. Oh well. But here's the thing about that. Even with universal scaling, that doesn't mean jack shit. In fact, let's just get this out of the way right now. Universal scaling, that barely puts Cell on par with characters like Ichigo, who is Universal Plus on the low end. So that's not really anything to write home about. Like, Cell is literally about as strong as a Bleach character. And here's another reason why this fight is completely fucked and I can't take it seriously on any level. Pretty much all Sonic characters have infinite speed. And what I find very fascinating is I did a little bit of digging, and I found out that Sonic characters have had infinite speed since as early as Sonic CD, back when Metal Sonic was first introduced. And guess what that means? Basically what that means is Cell would never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, be able to tag Metal Sonic. No matter what he does, Metal Sonic is always going to speed blitz him. And because Metal Sonic is the perfect copy of Sonic, he is exactly as strong as Sonic. And even a base Sonic, even 50% of Sonic's strength is enough to be universal, and that's just 50%. When you start getting into things like Super Sonic, Neo Metal Sonic, and Super Neo Metal Sonic, it gets completely fucked, okay? Sonic can run so fast, he can literally just restore time itself, and Sonic can run in a dimension that literally has no time whatsoever. So no matter what happens, there's nothing Cell can do here. Cell should lose. Metal Sonic will win, and everybody seems to be coming to that conclusion. Like I said in my video, I don't know what Cell did to deserve this level of disrespect, because this is honestly worse than the treatment Homelander got, because at least Homelander just got beaten up by another cheap Superman knockoff, and he kind of deserved it. What the fuck did Cell do to deserve this? Like, Cell fans have been waiting all this time to finally see Cell come onto the show, and what do they get treated to? Cell fighting an opponent that every other Tom, Dick, and Harry in this community has done. Because that's another thing I find interesting. If you look around at all these Death Battle clones, like Fan Battle and stuff like that, everybody and their mother has already covered this Death Battle. It's been done to death. So, Death Battle is just getting way late to the party on this one. Who gives a shit? And I don't see any scenario in which Death Battle might pull some shenanigans, because we know Death Battle notoriously does not have a good relationship with the Dragon Ball Z fans, and they love fucking with the Dragon Ball Z fans. Now, could there be a potential possibility that Death Battle might find some way to say that Cell beats Metal Sonic if Devil's Artemis wanted him to win, because this is Devil's Artemis's last episode? Maybe, but I somehow doubt that, and even then, nobody's going to take it seriously. So yeah, that's kind of my prediction. Again, short prediction, but also a very short explanation. Dragon Ball Z does not have the scaling to keep up with Sonic. That just is what it is. Sonic is one of the most overpowered and broken universes of all time. Metal Sonic has the stats, Metal Sonic has the abilities. There is no advantage that you can give to Perfect Cell. And for certain people like Fan Battle, the Zenkai boost in combination with Perfect Cell's regeneration ain't going to do jack shit, because for one, Metal Sonic can nullify regeneration and has access to the Cartoon Force, so it really doesn't fucking matter. And number two, you know how many times he would have to use the Zenkai boost to come anywhere near Metal Sonic's level of power? Because Metal Sonic should be anywhere around 9th dimensional at his peak. There is nobody in Dragon Ball Z that has that level of power, because Dragon Ball Z gets to only low multiversal. And that's at best, because remember, you have to be able to destroy at least 1,000 universes to even qualify for low multiversal. And Cell, at most, can destroy a universe. If I was to give him maximum benefit of the doubt, I would put Perfect Cell at Universal Plus, and that's if I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt, and MFTL Plus. That's it. So, yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on Metal Sonic versus Perfect Cell. Will I even review this one? Sure, maybe, possibly, but if I'm being honest, I just want to get to Light versus Columbo already. Yeah, I'm not even joking you. Believe it or not, I'm actually antsy and getting a little bit impatient. I want Light versus Columbo, and I want it now. I've been waiting because all these other death battles I feel are just distractions to what is going to be the true main event of this season, which is Light versus Columbo. And please, Liam Swan, I defy you to make something worse than Madara versus Aizen. Please make my day, because I already have a bunch of plans for Light versus Columbo. But alas, we have to just keep waiting, and I'm not gonna lie, so far this new season of Death Battle is not off to a great start. But let me know what you think. Do you think that Metal Sonic is going to curb stomp Cell, or do you think there's a chance Cell could somehow pull out a victory? Let me know what your prediction is for this death battle and what you think about Perfect Cell versus Metal Sonic, and also let me know what you think the next death battle is going to be. My bet is it's probably going to be Aang versus the Traveler, or maybe Megamind versus Gru. I don't think we're getting Light versus Columbo until much later. But I'll see you guys around next time.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Sometimes I feel a voice in my